I'm Riley Smith. I'm doing my presentation on school shootings for community policing class. I picked this topic not because I could find a lot of information on it, but I believe that it's a huge problem in our country now, especially after the Parkland shooting that happened pretty recently. A lot of school shootings and threats have been going on for a while now, and I just think our country needs to find a solution, just come together. Some problems that factor in after a school shooting are fear. There's been a lot of reports of kids not wanting to go to school here lately because they're afraid they're going to die or somebody's going to shoot up their school somehow or harm them in some way. And that's completely understandable. There's also other factors that contribute to school shootings. Some solutions that could control the shootings are obviously gun control. A lot of people have been calling for gun control for a long time, even before the shootings, but it's a lot hotter topic now than ever. And also mental health. Mental health plays a big factor in a lot of crime and a lot of people doing bad things, criminal things. That was my scanning phase. My analysis phase, I looked at the potential problems that could cause a school shooting, and like I said, it could be mental health. Mental health has been a big one. There's been a lot of mentally ill people, especially the person who shot up the school in Parkland. He got expelled from school. He kind of didn't fit in, he got bullied, and obviously that can take a toll on your mind. Another problem that we have that contributes to it is everybody being opinionated about the topic of school shootings. I can understand that everybody has their own opinions on gun control, the Second Amendment, mental illness, but in my opinion, I just see it as a problem that nobody is coming together to actually try to solve the problem. For my response phase, I found a lot of things that we as a country could do to stop school shootings, and I'm going to share some of those with you. Stricter gun laws, like I've already said, many people have been wanting stricter gun laws, not only for the purpose of keeping students safe, but for just taking guns out of the hands of criminals and stuff like that. Another thing that's hit a lot of the news stations is arming the teachers and the staff of the school. Obviously, a lot of people have problems with that. That's completely understandable. To make that happen, there would have to be a very extensive background check and a lot of extensive training for the teachers and the staff, and only certain teachers could have it. I wrote this in one of my essays. I found an article that for the last resort, some school in Pennsylvania would give students rocks, and if the intruder came into the classroom, they would stone them to try and stop them. A lot of schools have called for more surveillance of the facility to where they could, see more entrances so somebody would not just walk into the school. And right when the Parkland school shooting happened, there's another idea that came out, arming the retired veterans or military personnel to guard the school. Many stepped up and said they'd be happy to do it to protect the students. Another response that has already happened that a lot of people are upset about are the clear backpacks. A lot of people say it violates their right to privacy, especially women with their feminine hygiene products and all that. But in my opinion, the best response that we could have is have more school resource officers at the schools. And here's why. There's a lot of benefits that could come from having more school resource officers. And first, I'm going to present an argument against it and then give the reasons why I think we should do it. A lot of people say that we don't have enough funding in our county, our state, whatever, to have more than one resource officer at a school. That's one reason. I completely disagree with that. I think that if we ask the citizens or the constituents of the town, city, whatever, to pay a little more in taxes to help protect our children in our schools, I think everyone would be happy to do it. Another good thing about having more SROs in a school is it's another man, a trained man with a gun. The SRO in Parkland did not do a very good job of protecting. He actually ran out of the building while the shooter was still active. The SROs know the school better than anyone else. So if there is an intruder in the building, they could possibly track them down quicker than a teacher could or a custodian could, or etc. And in my opinion, the plan on carrying that out to have more SROs in schools is to have an SRO to student ratio. I'm not exactly sure how many SROs to a student that would be, but an example would be if you had a 2A school like Brevard High School. We have one SRO in the high school to about 700 students. In my opinion, that's pretty ridiculous. But in my plan, in my response phase, I would want at least 2 or 3 SROs in a school that big. That way, if in the occurrence of a school shooting, you could potentially take out the threat quicker than if you only had one officer. That's about it for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed this class. Thank you.